Never needed, she's a science Evo. Never had a reason to be feeble. I see demons leeching off the people in a fucked up state where to keep you. And it's obvious, it's so see-through. What these demons did to deceive you. Throughout history, they mislead you. Just use you up until you can't move. They done fucked you up. Society experiment. Yeah, this life get weird as shit. Big brother watched from the pyramid. The Masons tricked you yet again. Hey, hey, society experiment. Yeah, this life get weird as shit. Big brother watched from the pyramid. The Masons tricked you yet again. Hey. I never wanted to be like these people with Simpson ties to Evo. You an Agent Smith, I'm an EO. You don't question shit, you just believe them. You can't critical think like religion, like science and infinite regress, with piles of layers of lostness. Got you lost in language linguistics, you got no wisdom. Your mind was created and programmed for your weekend. Deny it all you want, but they never taught that real shit. I get so damn high off my own goddamn mind, but I never get lost in that shit. And so I never needed she's a science Evo. Never had a reason to be feeble. I see demons leeching off the people in a fucked up state where to keep you. And it's obvious, it's so see-through. What these demons did to deceive you. Throughout history, they mislead you. Just use you up until you can't move. They done fucked you up. Society experiment. Yeah, this life get weird as shit. Big brother watched from the pyramid. The Masons tricked you yet again. Hey, hey, society experiment. Yeah, this life get weird as shit. Big brother watched from the pyramid. The Masons tricked you yet again. Hey.
So what is it you do and what is it you aim to do?
Yes, my name is Moony Mercury, baby. I am a spiritualist / musician, or even creative, but mainly music. My content it mainly focuses on spirituality, sometimes astrology, sometimes even things that don't involve spirituality. But not too much, because my main thing is spirituality. But whenever I do escape the realm of spirituality, I still tend to bring a spiritual twist to it. So if I'm gonna be talking about like events in the world or anything that may be political or society based, I will still bring a spiritual perspective to those things as well, even though it's more based on reality. So I literally talk about anything on my podcast. I do some live streams too. And it's really, at first it was I just wanted to express myself with no filtering and just be completely raw. But then over time, it just turned into like, I guess now people look at me as a teacher and whatnot. I still kind of don't see myself as like a full-fledged teacher. I can understand why people would say that, but really in just reality, I'm just expressing my perspective, and that's it. Like, I'm not even trying to teach people. I'm just expressing myself and people learn from it.
You're quite motivational in what you say.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I can sometimes be in certain emotions and vibrations that might motivate people to get inspired. It's not just the actual information itself, but it's my character too, along with it, can sometimes help people realize certain things, like the way you say things.
Yeah. And you said that about vibrations and stuff. Not a lot of people understand what you mean by high and low level spirits and vibrations and such. So if you'd like to explain a bit on that.
Oh, okay, yeah. Well, when I say vibrations is just another word for emotions and feelings. So it's just a fancy way of saying your emotions and feelings. So when people say you have a good vibration, they're saying that you have a good emotional state, or that you have a good mood or a positive vibe, or whatever, how people use it. So our emotional states, that's our vibration. And then other times you may also hear me say the word frequency. Now, frequency is just another fancy word of saying your thoughts and your logic.
Yeah.
So when I talk about frequencies and I say, oh, you have a really broad frequency awareness, that's pretty much a fancy way of saying, oh, you know a lot of things, you have a lot of information. So I try to teach people in my videos how to not only expand their frequency awareness, aka expand their mind, but also expand their vibrational development too, because there's certain things in life that we just got to experience without really too much thinking, and then the experience itself will teach you and develop your vibrational state or your emotional state, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah. Also, there's a lot of religious people. They also tend to go to the spirituality beliefs and such. So, do you have any relations to that? Do you understand religion in that sense?
Oh yes, yeah. I don't see religion. Like I know I'd be sometimes bashing it and whatnot in my content, but it really do depend on the context of the video, because usually when I'm bashing it, it's only the negative aspects of it. But that doesn't mean that I still don't respect and even learn from every religion. You know what I'm saying? So there's positives and negatives to everything. I've studied every religion, not too deeply, because that'd probably require a lot of time and effort, and I didn't really have to, because I eventually found my main spiritual teacher who helped me learn more. But my point is, yeah, religion, I understand religion. I understand like religious people, and if that's what they're meant to be at this lifetime, and that's cool. You know, I don't even go out there and go against anybody for whatever they're at. It's just in my videos, some of the things I say, since it's a raw filtering of how I truly believe, sometimes I'll bash the negative aspects of anything, not even just religion. I'll be bashing science, I'll be bashing religion, I'll be bashing certain spiritual things and philosophical things. Because I'm trying to get people to realize and understand. Part of my mission is to get people to realize that your perspective doesn't have to be limited to anything outside of you. You can always learn from any perspective outside of you and combine all these different perspectives to form your own unique perspective on life based upon your awareness and what you've learned.
Yeah. So someone who I showed in one of your videos, they seen your video on the gender, the one I shared on my channel, the gender frequencies and such, and they got the idea that you didn't think that low level frequencies had anywhere to go, in a sense, and I personally didn't get that idea from it. Like, obviously I see what you're trying to do. You're trying to make people more aware of their low level frequencies, but obviously other people take it another way.
Yeah, I don't blame them, because like the way I say shit or whatever, like, it's not gonna be for everybody. Which video specifically are you talking about with the gender? You talking about why it can be hard being a spiritually evolved man?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah, pretty much in that video, like, I was pretty much like trying to pretty much get people to realize that a lot of the things that men and women in society come together for is really not, it's really not that deep or that genuine, because a lot of humans, most humans, since they're still more animalistic than spiritually evolved people who've done the shadow work and whatnot, they will tend to get in relationships for more, you know, sexual reasons or even financial reasons, whatever the case may be. And it seems to me that most of society wants to come together based off things that isn't even as important as the real stuff that everybody bypasses, such as, oh, what is this person into? What are our similarities and what can we do together since we're both into the same things? You know, actual compatibility and whatnot.
Yeah.
So since most humans and most people in society, they don't know themselves well enough to even figure out what they like and what it is they want to do, a lot of people are programmed to whatever society and the shadow government and the Masons and people that just
is
constructed the
traveling
world
in
whatever
an
they
orbit
want
with
them
its
to
own
focus on.
motion.
So, like I
Now, it's
said, a lot of
interesting that
people
the
will get into
Arabic word
relationships for
referring to
sexual reasons. That's more of
movement
a
with
animalistic thing. That's
self-propelled
not like a
motion is
matrix
the
shadow
verb
government thing. That's just some animal
sabaha.
shit. But on some shadow government society type things, you know, there's a lot of people who will only mess with somebody if they're successful, rich, popular, and those things are completely robotic. Those are not genuine, real things to be getting into a union with somebody with. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's kind of backwards to me. It's like, to me, that's why a lot of those relationships end up in divorce anyway, because they both eventually figure out that they really don't mess with each other and they was just using each other for some other shit. And so most of the time it'll be a man using a woman for sex, and then the woman would use the man for riches and success and whatever the hell.
That's what I tried to go into in my podcast in the Western Demise, obviously. And some people took it the wrong way. That was being misogynistic over women when I was talking about it in both senses. You know what I mean? And both parties are both victims of it, and both parties are participating in it.
That's exactly what's going on. I'm gonna have to check out that video that you just said.
Also, do you follow any religions? Like I seen in one of your videos or your necklace, is it the Ankh, or is that just a gender?
Oh no, this is the Mercury symbol.
The Mercury symbol.
This is the Mercury symbol. Yeah, this is like the symbol they made for the planet Mercury or whatever. And the reason why I wear this is because my natal chart is Mercury dominant. You know, from an astrology perspective. As far as to answer the question you just said about religion, I don't follow any specific religion. I just have a direct connection with my own spirit, but that doesn't mean that I'm gonna shun anybody's perspective, even certain religious people. Like, I would still hear what people gotta say, because from my perspective, from my awareness, it transcends beyond language and linguistics and what humans use as words to describe things. So I could have a conversation with a religious person and even agree with them on a lot of different things. I'm just not going to claim that religion though, because I know the things that they're talking about, it's beyond what they just describe it as from a reality perspective.
Well, as soon as you just said that, what's your thoughts on like the prophets and prophecies and such?
So in like what context, like what specific prophets are you talking about?
Like the people that come forward and say, obviously they were in contact with God and they try and foretell the future, and some of them.
Okay, you're talking about like in the Bible and whatnot.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, that's a good question. So in my opinion, from what I've interpreted, prophets in the Bible, depending on the story and the context, is usually a prophet in the Bible usually represents like a thought or an idea that is supposed to enlighten or make other people aware. That's like the allegory behind it, or like the analogy behind it. Because in the Bible, from how I interpret it and how it was written, it's a book along with other religious texts and other different religions. It's all parables and analogies and allegories and anthropomorphizations of energies that we're trying to describe and put into stories, pretty much. Because before we even made language and words and like all this other stuff, we were first storytelling, drawing pictures of, oh, this is what I thought of in my mind, here's this picture of this story, or this is what I felt, here's this picture in this story. So in the Bible, all the men in the Bible represent thoughts and ideas, while the women in the Bible represent feelings and emotions. So that's how they intended to write the Bible, and to teach us about our thoughts and our emotions and whatnot. So in the Bible, when we talk about prophets and whatnot, it's pretty much an allegory to a certain thought that needs to be preached or spread the word to the people in the Bible or whatever civilization or whatever type of characteristics and traits they was trying to point towards. Like, hey, any human that has this care. So, for example, what's his name? Was it Jonah? Yeah, I think it was Jonah. Jonah, he's seen as a prophet or whatever, and that story goes. All the Bible stories go deep, but for example, with the Jonah story, he was supposed to be a thought or the representation energy of not being so savage like the Ninevites were or Nineveh was in that story, where he went to that city and everybody was just ruthless and savage and what they would say, quote unquote, sinning and just being reckless and animalistic. So Jonah in that story was supposed to represent a thought or idea to wake people up in Nineveh to not be so reckless. That's just one example. I'm pretty sure it goes deeper than what I just said. I would have to reread the Bible to refresh my mind on a lot of things because I haven't read the Bible in a very long time. But from what I can remember, like that's what I took from it, along with all the other stories. I'm pretty sure there's more meanings behind it though than what I just said though.
Yeah.
Because there's a thing about him getting eaten by the whale, and that probably has its own meaning behind it as well. And even the part where Jonah wanted to see the city be destroyed at the end, but God didn't do it. So even that was like an example of like that thought that Jonah represented. It was still spiteful like the Ninevites were. So even Jonah had to learn, because that's how our thoughts develop. You know, it's kind of deep because we develop over time our thoughts and our feelings. And these biblical stories are trying to tell us things like that.
Yeah. Well, I went on to this in my most recent podcast on conflict and how it shaped us. And obviously we went on talking about that at the end on how faith is mainly based on metaphors and such. And some of it's literal, some of it's not literal, some of the people are metaphors, some of them are not. And
that's exactly what it is. I like how you titled it. We shaped ourselves off of conflict and whatnot. Yeah. That's really true. Like we really did evolve as a human species based off our own flaws and lackings and all this stuff. And that's just evolution, period. Like everything has no choice but to evolve.
I've got a book on it by Margaret Macmillan, How Conflict Shapes Us, and I obviously mixed the title around and that's how I got the idea of the title. But this is a history book and it goes on about the history of all the wars and religion and how most of it caused conflict in the world and tore us all apart from each other.
Yeah, that sounds interesting. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I'm pretty sure there's a few gems in that book because, like, I mean, think about it. Like, if the Earth evolved over time from a more dumbed down, lesser version of ourselves, then you know you see animalistic humans out here in society in modern times. But imagine back then, it was probably even worse.
10 times.
It was probably
100 times.
Like barbarians running around, hitting other barbarians for food and whatever.
Yeah. Robbing people, pillaging. And
yeah, exactly. Pillaging and raping and all types of stuff. Because that's why in my videos, I don't really, because I talk a lot of shit about the system we're currently in, but I'm also wise enough to see the positives in it too. Yeah, there's a lot of things that could be worked on and fixed. But at the same time, hey, it's still sophisticated to a certain degree. We just gotta fix a few things.
Yeah.
There you go. Okay. But yeah, I guess we could just whenever the time is about to run out, just make a new session and we'll just keep going from there.
Yeah.
Even though it'll be annoying, but it'll just be like I guess a little timeout.
Yeah. Well, seeing as where we left off about somewhat religion and such. Have you ever heard? You've obviously heard of the third eye.
Yes.
Yeah. Have you ever heard of the evil eye?
Yeah, the little blue eye, right? It's like blue, the symbol of it.
Well, to be honest, I don't really know too much about the evil eye. I just heard about it today. But,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, I know about the evil eye.
All what I really know is it's like obviously what witches I believe use in somewhat.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep. Yeah, there's a little symbol for it. And it's blue, and some people wear it as a necklace to protect them, like some like spiritual defense type thing. And it could work if you know how to have the right intent with it, to protect yourself and whatnot. But yeah, I know what the evil eye is. Um, I don't really know exactly the origins or like how it came to be a thing, but I have heard of it and I do know what it means. As far as the third eye, that's a different thing.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the evil eye came from the Quran. I'm not 100% sure if that's.
I'm not sure. If I would, yeah, I would probably have to look it up, but maybe. I mean, it could. I could see how too, especially with the Quran and whatnot.
What's your views on like the Quran and such? Do you have any or no?
Not really. When it comes to like, because when it comes to Christianity and Islam, and even like Catholicism to a certain degree, they're all just Jewish at the end of the day. Like it all stems from Judaism and or to be more specific, what's that shit called? Mysticism or mystic Judaism. I forgot exactly what the term was, but yeah, and like the Abrahamic religions, they all pretty much stem from like some Jewish esoteric type stuff, like things dealing with like the Kabbalah and shit like that. And so what my opinions on Islam is just Islam likes to focus more on like they like to focus more on like mathematical, like it's funny because Islam likes to look at I look at
more
Islam
science,
like the left brain. Huh?
More science.
Yeah, like they're more like logic based. That's why they're more strict. You know what I'm saying? While Christianity is more like more right brain based, like it's more about the emotion and being accepted by Jesus and whatever as your savior. So, but Islam is like actually a little bit more strict, and they actually like, and that's actually a good thing to a certain degree too. It's just bad when people go overboard with it and start to go to war and blow themselves up for shit. But that's with any religion. Like, I mean, Christianity had fucking crusades and shit. So there's good and bad to all that shit. But as far as Islam go, it's more based on like information and less emotion, more logic. I also know that Islam is more in tune with the astrology too.
Yeah,
That's why they have the moon and the star as their symbol and whatnot. So I know that's a thing too. From what I remembered about Islam, I feel like there's some other things I could say, but it's just not coming to my mind right now. But yeah, they're pretty much more like logic based, and it's kind of like Catholics too are kind of the same in a way too. I don't know why Christianity is not like that, but you know, Islam and Catholics is kind of like that.
Yeah.
Even down to them having to pray a certain amount of times in a day and all that. It's like really, like they really about like their practices type stuff.
Yeah. Do you still believe in like a god or like a higher power?
Ooh, that's a good question. Hold up, let me take a hit for that. That's a good question. Because it's complicated, man.
See, that's why I like to put the higher power in there, because obviously, yeah,
it's not really that. It can be seen simple, but pretty much how I view that. All right, when it comes to that, I don't really see God as a being. I see it more of existence itself, and then the biggest spirits within existence, they're like different aspects of existence. So, for example, where my awareness is at, I know that everything became out of no thing or nothing. If anybody else says any other thing, they're kind of putting themselves in a bias, because eventually you have no choice but to realize, damn, we created all this shit out of nothing. So the oldest spirits, the very biggest, most wisest, oldest spirits, they're really not even beings. They're more like concepts, like the concept of time, the concept of space, the concept of movement and shit like that. All these really broad concepts that are like the fundamental building blocks of what makes existence what it is. I see those things as like the oldest thoughts and the oldest concepts of what humans would call God. But God is not really a being, though. It's really just existence itself, and all the things within existence is like a part of that. So humanity, we're like a smaller spirit race when compared to like actual concepts and shit. Because think about it, humans, we're complex. We can think of and feel many different things, but these energies that we think and feel, they was always here before we even came to exist and think and feel it, right? Before you was born, the emotion of sadness was always here. Before you was born, the thoughts and ideas of math and whatever the hell, they were already here, and numbers and shit. So with that taken into consideration, I look at those energies as like, oh shit, these are like older, because we're just walking energies encompassing these things, but we're like the offspring of these things. Like we're like the physical form walking around of what these energies even mean, because all these energies are metaphysical. They're not really in reality in the 3D. These are things, that's why they're concepts. That's why when you have a thought or a feeling, it's something that only you experience, but nobody else outside of you is going to know that you experienced that thought or feeling, because it's not visible. It's not in the physical. So with all that being said, these energies, I look at all these things as just different aspects of existence itself. And existence itself, what humans would call God, to me is not really a being or a higher power per se. It's more of just that's why I like to call it all possibilities. If I am going to give it a term or a description, I want to give it a description that would do it justice. And to me, all possibilities is like the perfect way to really explain it, because that's really what life is. It's just all this different shit combined that we're creating out of nothing.
Yeah. But, well, in a sense, that's like your higher power leading you down. Yeah, no?
Oh, you asking if we ask what?
Like, obviously, like, you don't really believe in God, but you believe it's like a concept and such, and...
Yeah, like I don't believe in a dictator spirit ruling over us, although that does exist, but not for me. That's only for people who want to follow that. Because I said I'm with all possibilities. I know, all those things can exist, but that doesn't mean I'm gonna limit myself to those things. But yeah, it's exactly what you said. I think it's a mechanism. It's like a mechanism that this life is. It's not really. That's why I even have a video called I forgot what it was called, but I was talking about like how you have to be impersonal or indifferent when it comes to the universe, because the universe it's not like you, like a person thinking like, oh, if I do this and that and third,
the universe doesn't care about you.
Yeah, universe.
Yeah, I think this was the first video I've seen of you. In fact, I think I commented on this.
Hey, you probably did. Yeah, like that. But yeah, that's pretty much what it is. Like it's not really, because people, that's why in human history we anthropomorphized these things, and anthropomorphization is just the art of giving human characteristics to things that are beyond human. So of course humans are gonna look at God as like something that would be like them. That's why in the Bible or the Abrahamic God can be seen as petty sometimes, because it's just humans or the Jewish people from back in the day describing how they felt and what they thought. And that's the thing with humans. Humans got to realize that the universe, or what y'all call existence, or whatever, or God or whatever, it's beyond what y'all humans limit yourselves to. We can't be so selfish to think that, oh, the human way of life is the only existence in all possibilities. Because a lot of religions, they'll tell you what? That God is all possible and almighty. So if you're going to say these things, you can't really, you know what I'm saying? You can't contradict yourself and be a hypocrite and say that, oh, God is petty enough to have feelings and emotions, and oh, if I don't follow these set rules of the 10 commandments, then I'm going to get punished. When really, in reality, there is no outside force doing that. It's really, spirituality is about individuality. It's about you finding your own path, you creating your own meanings and reasonings for life, your own purpose, and you have full control of how you want to create and move about your life. There is no outside force. I mean, there's things like karma that exists, but it's still just a mechanism. It's not karma is not no being like, oh, I'm gonna get you. No, karma is just the concept of you get what you put out, and that's all on you. There ain't no outside being dictating the moves that you make in life. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. It's like depression. Like if you say you're depressed, you're gonna make yourself depressed, for example. It's like
exactly.
It's like a concept you're putting on yourself.
Yeah, and that's what I be trying to teach in my videos, because these things are important. The only reason why we have one of the reasons why we have such a crazy fucked up world is because people just don't know themselves that well. Think about it. You're in a human body. You have to deal with all these society pressures, and they're not going to teach you about yourself, right? You have these thoughts and feelings that you got to learn how to deal with, these desires, all these different things. And this is why humans even make things such as like mental health awareness and shit like that. When really, like, and look, that's fine if you're into all that stuff, but in the core of everything, you're still accountable for your own spirit. You're still accountable for how you want to view life and how you want to think and feel. So we kind of can't be too much victims, because part of life is to grow. And who said that growing was going to be easy? It's a challenge. It takes effort. It's not, and that's hard. And look, we all have to go through these things and go through the uphill battle of life. So even wise big spirits like myself, it ain't easy for us to be in this human body and deal with this crazy ass matrix, you know, like, but if you do be inclined, and if you do take care of yourself and your spirit, and you do what you're supposed to do, and you keep learning, you can deal with this life a lot better than those who are just lost in the sauce and don't know themselves that well.
I completely agree with you. I've experienced that myself.
Yeah, it's always, and I'm pretty sure you've had experiences in your life where life itself directly taught you some things, and you just learned from that moment on, and you had a choice. You could either learn from that
or stay in the misery.
Yup. Exactly. That's the only choices we really have.
Yeah. Like for example, last year I used to be hanging out with a bunch of drug addicts and all that, and just living in a sulk, pretty much. Like I made this in my most recent video. I came out and said that most of my videos were just me just taking the piss out of myself and degrading myself on cameras and stuff, just expressing my depression instead of dealing with it.
Okay, yeah, right. And so, like, trying to find solutions and whatnot. Okay, I see what you're saying. And that's crazy what you said too about like the people you hung around and shit too. That's another thing. Energy is contagious.
Exactly.
So like when you're around that type of energy, it's real. You will end up becoming like them and whatnot. And I even experience that sometimes when I have to interact with like people that I know that aren't doing anything. Like Like there's certain family members, if I visit them, I'll start to feel a little bit lazy because in the presence of them, they're not really doing anything.
Yeah.
And then next thing you know, I got to look at the clock and be like, oh shit, I've been here for like 2 hours. I got to go do something.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. But that's dope that you're actually. I'm gonna have to check out more of your videos because I haven't really watched like any of them fully.
Yeah.
I just like skimmed through one of them. But yeah, when I have time, I'm gonna definitely check it out for sure because it's good. Like that's what we need, man. What you're doing, like that's good. Like we need more people to do their own shadow work, and then when they do that, they can express it, and then you expressing your own path is gonna automatically help people. Like I'm sure you have people in your audience that's told you, man, this helped me a lot. Blah blah blah. I've had my fair share too. So that's kind of necessary.
Yeah, in my free time, I do photography and stuff. So a lot of people see what I do, and obviously seen what I was like, and they tend to always say to me, I'm motivating them, and they always see I'm doing good for myself, and they're always checking up on me, seeing what I'm doing because they always know I'm doing something different every day.
Right. And see that plays into what I was saying earlier about energy being contagious. In this context, though, it's positive. So when you're doing what you're supposed to be doing and you're being an inspiration or an influence and you're just being you like you're supposed to, people are going to pick up on that and then they're going to get a boost of energy and motivation. And then that's what I do when I watch the people I watch on YouTube. Like they help me. Like I might check out one of your videos and get the same energy. So that's really what it's all about. And I actually like how YouTube and the internet is kind of becoming the new TV because it's kind of giving more power back to the people so people can have more options to pay attention to what they want to pay attention to rather than just the channels and the news that they give us on TV.
Yeah. And that's the main reason why as well I'm doing the Priimecast, because a lot of people as well they're scared to say what they want to think because what they believe from the news and such.
Yeah. But see, now you can be used as a vessel though to help break them out of that matrix and whatnot. And that's really what the spiritual warfare is, man. It's all just a war for the people's attention and their mind, because you already know, like we live in a really
messed
programmed, indoctrinated world. It's even the people that run the world, they need help because just them doing things the way they do it, they have issues. Like they don't have to make it like that, but they do. Yeah.
For example, the president with Alzheimer's.
Yeah, exactly. like that is like, man, I wouldn't be surprised if they try to bring in like a transgender president or something, or even an AI president or some shit like that. I wouldn't be like they just doing whatever at the moment right now.
well, if you not heard they're planning on making an AI Bible.
An AI what?
Bible.
What's that?
The Bible.
Oh, AI Bible?
Yeah. So it's like all religions, but it's
really.
Yeah, like look it up.
I ain't never heard of that shit. I'm gonna have to look that shit up.
Yeah. They're trying to make an AI Bible so it's more acceptable for all religions and such, but
I wonder how that's gonna be.
Yeah. Well, see when you think about it, we never had an issue like this like 50, 60 years ago with religions and all that. They were just normal, you know what I mean? You'd see a Muslim, you wouldn't think they were terrorists and such, and
oh yeah, exactly. Like that's what I'm saying. Like that's what I'm saying. Like religion itself, it ain't even bad. It's just the way the world uses it. It's like it just got really dumb, and like the whole war in the Middle East and whatnot. Like, man, that stuff is that's anybody that participates in stuff like that, they have issues because that has nothing to do with your religion at all. Like, I don't even know how they trick. I mean, I know how. It's because the shadow government is trying to trick people to go against each other and like population control and whatnot. But I don't know why. I don't know how they fall for it though. Like sometimes I got to question if there is even a real war going on, because I find it hard to believe in 2023 that we still have people killing other people just because of they use a different word to call to call God, but we're all talking about the same shit. So you're telling me people are killing other people just because, oh, they use this word and they like that word better than this word? That's just, to me, that's just dumb. That's like the dumbest thing in the world. Like, it don't even make no sense at this point.
Exactly. Because like they're all talking about the same gods, but they're just different prophets, including and different metaphors in the books.
Yeah, exactly. It's like they're literally going to war and killing each other over words, like language and literature and linguistics. It's like, it's just, it blows my mind that we even live in a world like that.
I know.
It's like people really forgot, like, it's like common sense sometimes really ain't a thing.
Have you ever seen, I think it was Raw Thoughts 4? I think I put this in one of my podcasts as well. They like showed it on how the left and right, they just fight each other, and obviously they're just using words against each other, and they're just... In the music video, they showed it with a bunch of girls in bikinis just fighting each other with paint, and then there was someone in the middle just rapping about it all.
Yeah, that's really what it is. I'm glad you brought that up, because that reminds me of, like, that's really what it is. It's just some tribal team against team type shit. Like, that's why I'm left with no choice. Like, okay, y'all must have some sort of egotistical spirit for y'all to even think that your way is the best or better way or whatever. It's like, because where else is that coming from other than insecurity and wanting to be better than somebody else? So that's how I look at it. It's the same with religion. It's the same with politics. It's the same with different philosophies that combat each other, or different scientific theories that combat each other. It's all just, oh, I like team against team. Now, don't get me wrong. Of course, there's going to be moments in life where, okay, yeah, this perspective it seems more sound, it seems more well-rounded and more enlightened. Of course, that's a thing. But at the end of the fucking day, when it comes to the things I just said, it's still all just words. It's like, for example, in politics, you have people on the left who want certain things to be done a certain way, and then people on the right who want things to be done a certain way. But in reality, we don't have to do things any of those ways. We could just, because in politics, people don't even realize like how much potential we have. In politics, it's just literally capitalism versus communism and socialism and shit like that. So, and that's on a global scale, like, you know, from left and right or whatever, not just the USA. But it's all dumb though, because first of all, the monetary system itself, this currency-based system that we have, we really don't need that no more. It's kind of outdated, because if you think about it, why did we start that system? It came from bargaining and gain of the resources we could trade amongst each other, right? So if that's the case, and we have a world where we are just mass producing all these resources at a rapid rate, and none of these things are going to run out, because if it would have already done so, because we already live in a consumption-based world. So they can't hit us with that excuse of, oh, it's the resources and we might run out. Well, you can't even say that, because we're already in a consumption-based world, right? So whatever excuses they try to make on, oh, we need money and we need currency, most of the time it's just going to be bullshit, because the things they're going to say is things that's already been debunked. We already have the technology to free everybody from wage slavery and make some sort of futuristic utopia where all the robots and the machines can do all the dirty work. And I'm not saying we got to go too far with the robots on some iRobot shit. We don't got to do all that, but just make some machinery that will do all the dirty work while all the humans can live their fucking life doing what they want to do. And I don't understand why we can't just have those conversations. Politics never talks about things like that. It's always capitalism versus socialism and communism, when both of those things are outdated.
Yeah, because why can't the people just make up their own minds for each other?
Yeah, like and like there, like I said, man, technology. We underestimate technology. I know people will sometimes say that too much technology is bad, and that's true. Like we have to be careful with technology. But if we was just responsible enough with it, man, you know how beautiful we can make the world with just technology doing all the labor, and then all the humans will have all the free time to just, you know what I'm saying? You know how beautiful that shit would be, man? Imagine a world where we don't have to slave endless hours to pay these bills and all this shit just based off human greed and ego and whatever. It's just, to me, it's barbaric, at least from my perspective and my awareness. Because where my spirit comes from, I've been in existences where it wasn't this barbaric. Like, it was actually more respectable. That's why we have a lot of people speaking up, talking shit about the world because, well, damn, look at what the leaders are doing. This shit ain't shit. It's like, what are we doing?
Yeah. I mean, I believe technology is probably a bit. At the moment, it's a bit scary seeing the way it's going.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I can understand if people are skeptical of it, and rightfully so. But that's why I also said if we're just responsible with it, though, then we don't have to. If we just were responsible with the technology, then nothing crazy will happen. No, and I don't even think no AI takeover shit would happen either. And if it do happen, it would be because somebody programmed it to do that. I don't think AI would just be its own free thinking thing that would take over the world. Because if it did, what would give it the animalistic nature or human ego to even do that in the first place? So it would have to be some sort of programming with it that it would do that. So I don't even think that's a thing that we have to really worry about. I think really what we really got to be worried about more is each other and these fucking weapons, bro. Now that's a technology we don't need. We don't need no freaking atom bombs and
the lasers. Have you seen that?
all this dystopian shit and this trying to destroy shit, and see, that's when we're letting shit go too far.
Yeah.
But man, this world should have never even had guns. Guns should have never even been a thing. But hey, that's what, and you know what? Let me not even say that, because guns are kind of necessary a little bit. Like, it kind of helps equal the playing field, especially from people that could just whoop your ass with a bat or some shit.
I'm pretty sure it was in the Bible. There was a bit in the Bible where it said, you can use your words to like back you up, but also here's a sword.
Right, yeah, exactly. Yeah, words are swords and whatnot. That's a true thing. Exactly. See, in other realities, in other realms of existence with other species and other worlds, that's how they did it. They would debate, and then whoever won the debate, that's what we would do to move on further. Over here, though, it got to a point where it was like that sometimes, but mixed in with all that, you have all this violence and war and literally raping and pillaging and taking over shit.
Yeah.
And so that like conquest and whatnot, or what's that word called? I forgot what it's called. Something dealing with like taking over the world. I forgot what it was called.
Democracy?
No. It's like a term for it in history where you go on a conquest and you just take over different lands. I forgot what it was called though. It's a certain word for it.
Is it Crusader?
No, I think it was probably not colonization. It's something else. Oh man, I forgot what it was called. When you're like, it's not capitalism. It's
I get what you mean, because like you can colonize the whole world. That's like I'm pretty sure a word.
Yeah. I forgot what it was called though. There's a term for it. I'm gonna try to look it up. Like taking hold up.
If you want, you can look it up to now, because I'm about to need to start off a new Zoom call because this has got 10 minutes left.
Okay. Hey, I found out the word. It was imperialism.
Imperialism.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to find. That's the word.
So when people try and imperialize, so like the Empire in Star Wars.
Yeah, exactly. That's kind of how human history played out.
Well, I don't know if you know or not, but the Star Wars was actually based on history.
Like you like the intent, like what they wrote it like based off and whatnot.
Yeah.
I could see that because shit, George Lucas, I think I've heard, I'm not sure if this is true or not. I've heard he was a Mason and that he got like a lot of funding for that. I think Star Wars is supposed to be like the Masons and the people that run the world, like their allegory, scientific sci-fi story of how they took over and whatnot. And people might be like, because people think that, oh, there ain't no one world government, but I mean, that's what do you think the UN is? The UN is the new world order, the one world government. So we're already like that.
Yeah. Have you heard of the You Own Nothing?
The what?
Have you seen what the World Economic Forum's doing?
World Economic Forum?
Yeah. Do you know what that is?
No, I'm not. What is that?
It's like a charity for global warming, but they've done the global reset. Have you heard about this?
No, I have. Enlighten me on it.
I think it might be a UK thing. I don't know if it's a American thing. But the global reset is pretty much they want to turn currency into stockholders, and pretty much money is going to be meaningless, and obviously we're just going to need to go to the stockholders for our money in the future. And it doesn't really make sense. They've not really properly explained it. Like they've just randomly, briefly explained it to people, saying, "Oh yeah, this is what we're going to do," but not actually.
So they're trying to what? Like not have people use money or something?
Yeah. And
what are they going to substitute it with? Crypto?
See, I don't know. The way they're advertising it is just people smiling, and it's just them just writing saying, "You'll own nothing and you'll be happy."
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about. You're talking about like the George Orwell type stuff, like the dystopian type stuff. Yeah, like that might just be an operational variable from them to see how far they can get away with like people's reactions towards things, to see where they could guide humanity. Because here's the thing with that, like okay, so they tried that literally with like the whole pandemic thing. So like they already trying certain tactics to where they want everybody to be like in a dystopian world. You know what dystopia is, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they want like they want to do that, but they might not be able to get away with it because there's people out here that are probably gonna call it out and shit. And not only that, but even the sheep might not even fucking want to do that. So that's how the shadow government works. They be throwing out certain things like what you was talking about, just to see how people react, to see if like it could be a possible thing in the future. Like they be testing with like, it's like social experiments and whatnot, to see how we react to the bullshit they spew on their news channels and whatever agendas they have. Because remember, at the end of the day, they already own the system. We're already living based upon their money and their system. So if they want to get rid of money, it's not because because people might think, oh, they're trying to get rid of money to get more power. No, it's not even that. They are the money. The money is their power.
Money wouldn't exist.
More of, they just want to change shit up to see how they can keeping us in the dark. That's really what it is.
Like you said earlier, money is technically just like a concept.
Yeah, it's exactly. It's just a concept. Now, don't get me wrong. It was a pretty decent concept for its time, but we really don't need it like that. If when you look at all the shit that we're capable of now. So, but now another thing too is like, okay, money, like some of the good things about it could teach you how to like be more disciplined and have responsibility. It's kind of like that book you brought up in the beginning, like how conflict shaped us and whatever. So money, in a way, the struggle of having to get money and whatnot, it low-key did help us spiritually evolve and whatnot. We really don't even got to necessarily fully get rid of money. We could still use the concept of money as like a reward system for good things. For that would be, like if society like sees that somebody invented something that's beneficial for everybody or whatever, then yeah, reward them with something. But at the end of the day, that can come in many different shapes and forms. It don't gotta just be money. But the reason why money has such a control on humanity and the society is because humans are so egotistical and so insecure, and they've been so brainwashed to want what money can get them, that they don't really think of existence without money. So a lot of humans, just according to their human nature and all the negative aspects of human nature, they want money. They want to keep that system of money, because to them, well, it's kind of like how you hear like an extreme Republican or extreme right wing person, they'll be like, well, I don't want to get rid of money because I work for what I deserve. And yeah, you're right. You're right. There is lazy people and lazy bums out here that don't deserve to get treated the same you do, because you are putting in more work and playing your part in society. But at the same time, like, it don't gotta be limited to just that. Like, you know what I'm saying? There's still ways where we can still have the money system, but we don't have to give it so much power though at the same time.
Yeah. I'm gonna change the subject a bit from this whole money subject. But do you believe in the devil?
Not in the way that humans believe it. To me, the devil or demons, it just represents pretty much our lower animalistic natures. Yeah. So to me, anything that deals with the devil or Lucifer or Satan or demons, negative entities, whatever you want, however you want to look at it, to me, that's just the negative aspects of humans.
Yeah.
So that's why they be saying, oh, he's fighting demons, or oh, this person is, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so like, or like when a religious person is like, oh, the devil been working hard today, it's because they're experiencing things that they don't either they don't agree with it, or they don't like it from a subjective vibrational perspective, or just from a frequency thought disagreement or whatever. So some religious people have told me, along with other spiritual teachers, oh, we're demons, we're devils for speaking like this, and trying, when really in reality it's kind of funny, because life is in reverse, everything is backwards.
Yeah.
Really, they're the ones being demons because they want to misunderstand their religion for their own egotistical
because see,
reason.
From my understanding from you, is you see demons the same way as them, they just want to believe that this concept means the devil's a person.
Yes, exactly.
The devil's like inside of you. It's a part of you. It's a part of everyone.
Yeah. Yes, exactly. That's really what it is. Like they don't understand that these concepts and these things, they're exactly that, concepts. They were all metaphysical first. So like I was saying earlier in our discussion, so that's what I'm saying. Religious people, they get too, like, I don't even know how to explain it. It's like they take stuff too literal, and then once you try to tell them it ain't that literal, they'll use they'll use that literal mentality and automatically shut you out, and then block themselves from learning what that actual mentality is. On some deep shit. It's funny because it's like you're sitting here calling people demons, not knowing that you're literally playing out the characteristics of what your Bible is describing as demonic. And it's so funny because there's many different scriptures and verses in the Bible or religious texts where you could be like, oh, that thou shalt not cast stones at certain things and whatever, blah, blah, blah. And it's just funny to me because that just shows me most humans don't really practice they don't practice what they preach. They don't really study it that deeply. They just go to church or whatever to feel good and to make excuses for their demons, aka Jesus, take the wheel, save me if I accept you because I know I ain't shit.
Instead of moving forward.
Yeah, instead of doing the shadow work and being spiritually accountable to face your demons, don't run from your demons and try to get distracted by Jesus and whatnot. Actually look and self-observe and self-reflect on yourself so you can make the necessary internal changes you need to make. You know what I'm saying? Like humanity is not going to be able to progress if people don't do that.
Yeah. Going on talking about this, what's your views on cognitive? I can't say the word, but you can.
Cognitive dissonance?
Yeah.
Cognitive dissonance. Hey, that's pretty much ties into what we was just talking about.
Yeah. That's why I felt like putting that in here.
The cognitive dissonance, it goes deep, man. That's why in some of my videos I be talking about you really can't fully teach somebody. They have to make the conscious effort to learn. I always bring that up in some of my videos because I don't want spiritual people to stress themselves out because we live in a world like this and nobody's waking up. Because I was like that. I think we were all like that at one point where we were trying to wake up a friend or a family member, but the cognitive dissonance was just completely not letting it happen, them out. Right? Yeah,
shield right over them.
Yeah, exactly. So we would get frustrated whenever they don't they don't listen. But that's when we gotta be more spiritually wise and understand. Okay, you can only do so much. You can only wake up whoever you can that's willing to wake up already, and that's it. Just play your part for people who are trying. You know what I'm saying? Like all the subscribers and the people that subscribe to you, just the fact that they hit that subscribe button, that's a sign they're trying. They're trying to learn things. They're trying to get insight from other people. They're trying to see other perspectives. A religious person might see one of our videos, especially mine, and then they would just completely like, oh, this is a demon, and just click off the page. And you know what? They're not trying. They're not trying.
That's why, for example, at the start of this, I asked like what that necklace means because obviously some people might have some sort of
exactly
ideology with it.
Yes, some people might think it's something else, especially with like the horns on the top, because the Mercury symbol. The reason why it's made like this is because Mercury deals with our mind, right? So that's like our mind chakra or whatever. So a lot of people get lost in their mind, and when you get lost in your mind, that's how the quote unquote devil can get you. Yeah. So if you don't have your Mercury right, if you don't have your mind right, you're gonna be susceptible to all types of what I call frequency demons, which is pretty much like thoughts and ideas that come to your mind and prevent you from expanding your mind to grow. So for example, like I just said, somebody might see one of my videos, and just because I'm not catering to them in the way that they want to be catered to, they're gonna get the thought, oh no, this is a demon. Yeah. But notice how it started as a thought though first. You know what I'm saying? So that's why the Mercury symbol looks like that. And it's more other things too than that, but yeah, it goes deep.
Yeah. Do you have any? What's your views on ancient religions?
Ancient religions, like technically, all the religions we have today are the ancient religions. They've just been divided into many different sub denominations and all that stuff. So the most oldest ancient religion, if you really look at human history, if you go as far back as like Mesopotamia and beyond, it was all first the observation of human nature, astrology, and eventually from human nature and astrology, it developed over time into all these different religions that we have today.
Yeah.
There's a lot of, man, there's so many different ancient religions though, because that was a time when like people were less indoctrinated, so there was more different forms of unique perspectives
Have you ever
versus nowadays.
have you ever heard about the rise and fall and the rise and fall and rise and fall of Egypt?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and they had like
That's
the 48 plus 2 gods, and no one knew what to believe, and they all fell apart.
I'm not too familiar with everything you're saying, but I do know what you're talking about. Like that's pretty much what it is, though. It's like, yeah, exactly. The rise and falls would just be the different perspectives humans are going through to change how they want to see life and shit.
Yeah, well, see. After this, I'll send you a little link to. There's a cartoon, and it's spirit science as well. So you'll probably be interested because it goes into.
Oh, I know spirit science. I fuck with spirit science.
Yeah. Well, do you know the Emerald Tablets?
Yeah, I know about the Emerald Tablets.
Yeah, well, they've got a video on their channel, Spirit Science, Fourth, on the Emerald Tablets, and it goes on about the rise and fall of Atlantis. But then at the end of that, it goes on about the Egypt religion. At the end of the video, it goes on about the Egypt religion, about the rise and fall, and obviously,
yeah, I have to. When it comes to the Emerald Tablets, I have to look more into it. I'm aware of its existence and what it is. I just have to look more into it to actually see what it is. Because I think I forgot what my main spiritual teacher said about the Emerald Tablets. I'm probably gonna have to refresh my mind on that too. But yeah, that's interesting though. That's interesting. That's what's up. I'm gonna have to look more into it though, because I'm not really familiar with it like that.
yeah. Well, there's a guy I watch. I think it's Carol Brown. Am I correct?
Who's that?
He does a lot of spiritual videos on religion and not religion, on the Emerald Tablets, and he tends to I don't know how to say it because I don't actually understand spirituality to an extent, but he communicates with Thoth, an Egyptian god, and tends to translate a lot of the stuff from the Emerald Tablets.
Oh, so he's like, he'd be channeling?
Yeah. Channeling, that's it, yeah.
Oh, what's his name? That's funny you said that, because I was just talking to somebody not too long ago about this type of stuff.
Belly Carson.
Belly Clarson?
Belly Carson, yeah. CAR son.
What was his first name?
Belly. Billy.
Oh, Billy Carson.
Yeah.
Oh, Billy. Yeah, I know who Billy Carson is.
yeah. He tends to go on quite a lot about religion and all that. Spirituality.
I don't really know too much about Billy Carson. I just know, yeah, he's deep into the Egypt stuff and alien stuff. But I ain't gonna lie though, like I would be careful,
getting too deep into
like
that.
Billy Carson.
Yeah.
Because you don't really like.
No.
Here's the thing. A lot of people can put out a whole bunch of knowledge and awareness and many speculation on many different things. But at the end of the day, if these people don't know how to like simplify things and question certain things, it can low-key become religious and dogmatic in a way. So like when people be talking about channeling like Egyptian gods and fourth dimensional, fifth dimensional, sixth dimensional beings, when they talk about these things, they speak in a way where, okay, I'm channeling an Egyptian god. But from my perspective, I'm just looking at it, okay, you're channeling the energy of whoever created that concept. of that Egyptian god.
Because it's what you believe.
Ultimately came from a human.
Yeah, came from your belief system.
Exactly. So that's why when I channel for my videos, I'm so clear. I'm channeling all the time. I'm technically channeling right now. But what I do is, the reason why I could speak so clear and make so much sense and break shit down so simple is because I'm not getting indoctrinated by other people's mind frames of how they view life. I'm directly connecting to what I see my spirit to be, and then it tells me to express myself in a way where anybody can understand the spiritual stuff. So when I even have a video about channeling. In that video, I talked about how like we all channel by default, and whatever we're channeling is the energies that we're manifesting for ourselves. We could channel, like you said earlier, we could channel depression. We could literally channel the energy of depression from the spirit that energy came from, or the energy, if you don't want to use the word spirit, that energy pre-existed us. So we could channel that though. We could literally embody that depression energy. That's what channeling is. For
example, say you woke up and you stumped your toe, and then for the rest of the day you're like, oh, well, for example, when you stump your toe, you go, oh, stump my toe, today's gonna be a shit day. For the rest of the day, the day's gonna be shit because you just said that to yourself. You channeled it.
Yup.
You manifested
exactly.
it.
Yes, exactly. That's the perfect 3D example right there. And then this is another deep, cool thing about this too. I think actually, yeah, I mentioned this in my channeling video. There's people that channel consciously and they know that's what they're doing, but then there's people who channel subconsciously without even knowing it. And the subconscious part would be you're pretty much getting possessed by that energy. So, for example, you and me, we're probably more aware than the common person when it comes to that stuff, right? So, if I was to get out of my bed and stub my toe, I'm gonna be consciously aware. I'm gonna let it out. I'm gonna let that anger out.
Yeah.
But I'm aware that's what I'm doing, and I'm not gonna let it go longer than like 5 minutes, or sometimes even a minute or whatever.
And then like 2 seconds later, you forget.
Yeah, exactly. So that's me consciously, like being in that energy versus someone. If they let it get to them too much, they're going to get possessed by that energy. And like you said, for the rest of the day, they're going to have a shitty day, and they don't even got to be like that. So that's how you know it's a subconscious thing that they're not even fully aware of that they're doing to themselves.
Yeah.
They're getting possessed by that energy. It's the same with religion too. When people get possessed by other people's viewpoints or whatever, if you don't know how to interpret it right, at least.
Yeah. Seeing as you just, I think you called me a high spirit there, somewhat. How do you view high spirits? Is it just awareness, or?
That's a great question. There's a few different things. It is mostly based on awareness though, but it's the awareness you have. It's also. So it's your frequency, it's your vibration, it's your overall awareness of all those things. And then I also go by like how unique you are too. That's another important thing, because usually the most spiritually advanced people I've met in my life, they were some of the most unique people, for real. Like a breath of fresh air, kind of, from like the common robot or whatever. So I look at those traits. I look at also how open how good you are at relating and communicating and being open and stuff like that. Like I could read your aura right now and I could tell you're actually paying attention to what I'm saying, and you know, you actually have a clear energy versus if somebody was right next to you, just like on their phone, kind of looking around, not, you know what I'm saying? Like
most people that come on my podcast.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, which unfortunately I would hate to have to deal with that. But yeah, like that's kind of what it is though. So it's literally like the more spiritually evolved people, they just have better control of their energy, man. And then the more animalistic people, man, the reason why they're so like lost in the world and looking around and shit is because they really don't know how to control their attention.
They've never focused in their life. Well, maybe they have, but not to an extent.
Yeah, or whatever they're focusing on it so much that they have tunnel vision and they don't want to see anything else.
Well, talking about this, why do you think most spirits are demotivated?
Demotivated?
Yeah.
Man, there's a lot of different reasons for that. A lot of it has to do with just people don't want to try. People could be lazy or whatever, to put it in a simple way. But it also has to do with like just the system we have is so draining. So people go to work, they work their 9 to 5, they come home and they're already exhausted and drained from, you know, the shit that they don't even care about doing. So then that plays a part into it too. Not to mention all these different distractions that they let themselves get distracted by. I actually have a video called Thoughts and Feelings Take More Energy Than You Think. So when we pay attention to things, that takes energy. So one of the main reasons why a lot of people are demotivated is because they're paying attention to stuff that's not going to give them a boost of energy, it's not going to motivate them, and they're letting that stuff drain them. And then one of the main reasons why people do that is because they're trying to escape their current reality. This is how people get addicted to overstimulation and stuff like that. So people who don't want to be motivated to change their life or to just be motivated to do something or whatever it is that you could use motivation for, they'd rather not do that. It's much easier to just get distracted because it takes work and effort to, like, it's not enough to just have motivation. You got to let that motivation out, right? So if you have a lot of motivation energy built within you, eventually you're going to want to let it out. It's kind of like a basketball player or a football player getting ready for the big game on Sunday. They're going to build up all this motivational energy, and then when they get on the field, they're going to let that shit out. So people, either they never build up that energy within because they're already too drained by and distracted by other stuff, or if they do build it up, they might waste it on something that is not productive or some other shit.
Mm-hmm. See if anyone right now is watching this and they are, for example, a low frequency spirit, what would you say to them right now to motivate them? If you have anything.
I would say that in this life, every moment is so valuable, man. We're all not going to be here forever. Every moment in time is so precious. So whenever you feel stuck or lost or trapped or demotivated or whatever, or you don't know what to do, take that as a moment to realize, okay, let me just see what I can do at the moment, and then let me try to create a purpose for myself, something that I could work on for the rest of my life that will keep me distracted and keep me busy and motivated. Because we, especially men really need this. Like all men need some sort of passion or purpose to get
drive them forward.
Life. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Women is kind of different, but for men, you especially if you're a single man, you need a passion or purpose to focus on, and then and if you stick with it, I promise you, if you actually go all out with it with the right intent, just doing it for yourself, and
it'll make you feel better.
You'll feel so much better. Not only that, you might also get rewarded from spirit or universe or whatever you want to call it, God or whatever. You will see your purpose and path leads you to all the things that probably had you depressed in the first place. For example, I'll give y'all a real example. I'll hang myself on the cross. me being a single man myself, I know that my purpose and my passion and what it's leading is actually connecting me with the right women, the right spiritual women, the right creative women. So me being on my purpose and my passion, it could help me actually find that. You feel me? So if all men do that, whatever you guys are depressed about, all that shit could be solved if you just follow through with your purpose.
I mean, I as well, I can speak from that from personal experience with my photography. Like when I was doing that, all what I did was I constantly met people who were highly motivated. They always knew what to say to me to motivate me. They always knew how I was feeling. And in that time, I didn't want to take the help, but I ended up in the long run always hearing it, and then ended up, you know what I mean? It got strung into me.
Right, exactly. Eventually, the message gotta get across.
Yeah. Also, well, seeing as we've got such little time left, obviously we were talking about the devil earlier and demons. What are demons to you, and how do you believe they were created?
So with demons and whatnot, how they were created, it's like, because technically, how do I put this? All the demonic natures that exist in life, it was kind of an accident. Like all these flaws of human nature and whatnot, it was kind of an accident, but at the same time, it was kind of necessary for the sake of polarity with like high octave, low octave, negative, positive, whatever, for the sake of infinite growth and whatever. So we talk about demons. A demon ain't really nothing more but a very small spirit with a small awareness that is trying to expand, but they let certain things prevent them from doing that. And those certain things are like certain energies, like sadness, depression, confusion, greed, jealousy, hate, anger, all types of different shit. And look, not even those energies are necessarily quote unquote good and evil, because it really do depend on how you use these energies. Like there's a positive way to use anger and hate, but if you direct it towards the right shit. So the term demons, that's more of like a human thing, really, because it's not really like anything that's beyond the human realm like that. And if there is, it's gonna be those same exact demons that humans deal with, like those original beings and shit. So for humanity, with how they made the word demons and demonic shit or whatever, devil, Satan, whatever, it really just has to do with our lower animalistic natures. That's like the most simple way I could put it. Now as far as angels go, it's like the opposite. So angels would be like the evolution of humanity. Like an angel would be quote unquote a big spirit with a big awareness.
Have you ever wait? You know, you just said that. Have you ever seen the ancient Egypts? They believe can't remember. I know what the Latin translate to English means, and it means what humanity will come. And he was a giant, and he was known as what humanity will become. And yeah, just.
You talking about what, like Goliath or something?
I think so.
Like you said, it was the Egypt thing.
Yeah. Well, I'm not 100% sure, but.
No, I mean that's probably the allegory though behind it. Actually, yeah, that is. When you hear like things about giants and whatnot, like that folklore or whatever. Now that I remember, yeah, that's really what the esoteric meaning behind that is. It's like a giant would be seen, or is an allegory of or analogy of a
Wisdom.
really aware, big, powerful spirit.
Yeah.
That's kind of it's also in I think Greek mythology too, with like the gods and shit. They were a lot more.
Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. Greek mythology. That's where it's from. What humanity will become.
Yeah, exactly. So that's true. That's real shit. Like we're trying to all become our own very powerful, big spirits beyond this limited realm and these limited vessels we're currently in right now. So at the end of the day, when it comes to life, man, it's all infinite growth. So anything angelic is going to be the actual growth, while anything that limits and stagnates your growth is like demonic. So for example, people that hold on and over cling to a certain emotion or a certain thought form or mentality, whatever it is that they limit themselves to, if they don't eventually let those things go in order to change and transform, they're low-key being demonic, because it's spiritual by nature for you to grow and learn more about not only yourself but life as well. When you don't want to do that, when you want to stay limited to whatever you limit yourself to, you're low-key, not even low-key, that is demonic from an esoteric perspective.
Yeah. I think I already asked this earlier. What were demons attracted to? Or like
What do you mean, like, to be more specific, attracted to like what?
How do people get overwhelmed by their demons?
Oh, okay, I see what you're saying. Well, like I said earlier, growth takes effort. And if people aren't willing to fight off their demons, their victimization could literally attract more demons. Matter of fact, there's a demon of victimization. Pretty much how more demons get attracted to spirits that have a lot of demons or whatever, it's literally that. It's like what I said earlier about energy is contagious, but on a metaphysical level. Because what happens when we have, usually one bad habit leads to another bad habit, right? So it could literally, that's like a real life 3D example of how demons get attracted to more demons.
Atomic habits.
Yeah, like
you get 1% worse or 1% better every day.
Huh? What was that?
Atomic habits. It's a way to think of your habits in a healthy way, and obviously you get 1% worse every day. We get 1% better every day.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. Stuff like that. So, and remember, since we're always changing and growing, you're either going to grow in a positive way where you let go of old, outdated habits, or you're going to grow in a negative way where you're just going to accumulate more bad habits. It's kind of like, there's so many real life examples of people who were once a regular person, then they meet somebody, and then that person they meet was a bad influence. Then next thing you know, they're in all these parties with that person, and they're becoming like that, quote unquote, demon. And then they're doing all the drugs they're doing. Next thing you know, it goes from drugs to irresponsibility, and then that leads you to being homeless, and then that leads you to being dirty and not washing your ass. And you see what I'm saying? It's like, and
I've seen that personally. Like, obviously, like I said earlier on the stream last year, I was in drug dens last year. Compared to now,
you experienced it firsthand. Like, you know exactly what I'm talking about. That, like, people, man, if you don't fight off demons, they will literally drag you all the way down to that crackhead level on the street, like talking, like, right. So when you see like crackheads on the street, like talking to the air and just like in their own world, that's a spirit who let the demons overcome them so much, they literally became that.
Well, it's so much more normalized. Like, I know in America, it's like you'll just see like probably every now and then a junkie, like, or I don't know what you call them, But like over in the UK, like anywhere you go, you will see at least 10 to 15 junkies every hour. You know, you know what I mean? And like you go to like Glasgow or that, and like the whole entire streets are just full of just homeless people all the time, and just it's just miserable. I don't know how to put it into words.
It's sad. It's sad, but and because like I said earlier, man, like we gotta be accountable. Like at the end of the day, you can't even help those people. They don't want help. That's why they ask for money and not food.
Like I've seen many people like offer them like, oh, there's a hostel, blah blah blah, and they're like, no, I've tried, but we're offering to try for you, and you're not accepting that help.
Yeah, exactly, because they don't really they make excuses. They don't really need no money for a bus ride. They really need money for that crack.
Exactly.
So it's like and look, I don't want to overgeneralize all homeless people, because not sometimes shit happens. But the thing is, with spiritually responsible homeless people, they eventually get out of that situation. The people that you see who are on the streets for years, they want that. Like they want to be like that.
Yeah. There's a thing I tend to do when I see homeless people. I tend to not give homeless men money. I tend to give homeless women money. Because usually they're the ones that I believe should...
Like more genuine.
Yeah. Not a man that can just get up and get a job easily. Like, you know what I mean? You can easily go to the shop and be like, can I at least volunteer in here for a couple of weeks and then see how it goes, and then you could pay me. I promise I'm a good guy and blah blah blah.
Right, exactly. Like there's many different ways. There's no excuses. That I'm glad you brought that up, and that's true. Like men, we're more capable to actually survive and whatnot. That's why I said earlier, women they can't really be alone like men, because they usually have that extra help, even from the system. Like, you know, the courthouses and shit, they'll give a woman, you know, custody of the kid before the man. Yeah. So it's stuff like that. But yeah, it gets sad. Like hopefully, but at the end of the day, like I said, if people go down that downward spiral and that's where they end up, then there's really nothing you could do about it. They want to be there.
Well, to finish up my questions, we've got one more question after that. But to finish up my main questions, what's your views on drug addiction and alcoholism?
I just hit the thing. Well, how I see it is like this: drugs and alcohol and all that, it's cool as long as you do it in moderation and you don't let it like take over your fucking life and shit, and you don't depend on it so much. Ain't really nothing wrong with these things. Technically, everything is a drug. You know, like people are addicted to watching the news and whatever. Yeah. So, and that don't do nothing for them. There's people who will take a hit of weed or drink some alcohol, but they're the most productive people in the world. So hey, if it works for them, go ahead. But when you but see, those are people who are using the drugs to be productive or whatever. Now, people who are just doing drugs all day long and they're not doing anything else, you're kind of overdoing it, and you're kind of trying to use that drug to escape reality, and that to me is not really good. I feel like people should, if you are going to do any of these things, use it in a way where it's more responsible and productive, because you don't want to like live your whole life for a high. That's not really, to me, that's like hellistic. You're always chasing a high. You know what I'm saying? That you're never going to be satisfied pretty much.
Yeah, because when you come off it, you're ended up going to be, what am I going to do now? Because I've been dependent on this high for so long. And now I just feel so miserable, so down. I don't feel myself. But really, you do feel yourself.
Handicap yourself. Yeah, it's like you handicap yourself, literally. So like when you come back down from that high, you're back to like that weak state of being. And I don't think we should be using any form of crutches, whether it's an actual drug or even a mental crutch, like trying to depend too much on certain thoughts and feelings or whatever.
Yeah. And I think I asked this at the start. I'm not too sure, but what is your like main aim with like your music and your podcast?
Man, that's a great question. Shit, hold up. My main aim is to wake up whoever I'm supposed to wake up. And the music is the same thing, because I'm trying to make more better, more real music. I don't want to rap about bullshit no more. So that's really my aim, is to wake people up and to show people how to be a respectable spirit, in my opinion. Because there's people that I watch and I look up to, and they inspired me to do what I'm doing right now. So I'm just doing the same thing they're doing. So my mission is to inspire other people to do the same shit. And if there's more people like us in the world, hey, who knows? Maybe we can actually change the world. And as far as that goes, that's really the main mission for me on some spiritual shit. Because people go on YouTube, and some people will even use spirituality just to like get a certain status or fame or money or whatever. And like, all right, that's cool. If you want to do that, go ahead. But to me, that's not really what I'm here for. I'm here on some like real spiritual shit. Like I can't predict the future. I don't know what's going to happen. But if I was to get myself in a position where I have more of a bigger voice and influence over a mass of people, I know how powerful that is. I know how responsible I would have to be with that. So if I was to get to that position, I would literally start traveling around the world and meeting with all the people that connect with me, and I would just start trying to organize a way we could all like
work together,
evolve and change the world, man. I feel like that's the main thing we got to do. Like right now, this little interaction we have right now, I already know, okay, you're one of the people that I plan to meet in the future, in real life or whatever.
Oh, definitely. I'd be up for
real shit.
Yeah. I don't know if you want to come to the UK, but
yeah, but I'm just saying, if it was, I don't know what's gonna happen though. I'm not saying it's gonna get to that crazy level or anything like that. But if it does, I know that's what I would do, because that's what this world needs. There's a few other people doing that too. My spiritual teacher is trying to do that too. So it's not even about me. It's really not. It's really about everybody coming together and just realizing what we can do together. That's it. It's not even I'm not even going to be the one to like set up everything and lead everything. Most likely it might not even be me. It's going to be a group collective effort type thing.
Yeah. I think you should check out my most recent video that I made last night. And it was basically at the end of it, I went on saying about that, like how it's not about the messenger, it's about the message and what the meaning is behind of it. And then yeah,
real shit. I'm gonna have to. What's that video called? I'm gonna have to check that one out.
It's a short video, and it's what happened to Priime. It's got a funny thumbnail to it. It says I think it's someone in the comments disagrees with me.
Yeah, I see.
Yeah.
Okay, bet.
Yeah.
Shoot. Yeah, I'm gonna definitely check you out, bro. You seem like a cool, genuine spirit. I already subscribed. I'm gonna for sure watch your shit and keep up and see what's up, because that's what I like to do on my spare free time anyway. I like to watch other people that I'm connected with and whatnot, just to keep up with, where's everybody at.
See the growth.
Right now. Huh?
See the growth.
Yeah, exactly. Like I just want to see, where everybody's at. Is everybody,
on the same level?
The good fight. Yeah, exactly. Is everybody on the same time? And so yeah, man, this is great. I actually appreciate you hitting me up for this. Real talk.
And I appreciate you as well responding to my random comment as well. So
Yeah, hell yeah, man. Thank you.
and
I'm for sure gonna keep up with you. You might see me leave a few comments here and there whenever I watch your stuff.
yeah, and
I might even share your. Well, I'm for sure gonna share this, but whatever I see, because I sometimes share other people's videos.
it'll be out on YouTube soon. So share it out on YouTube when it comes out on YouTube, not Rumble, because it'll be
Right.
edited on YouTube and stuff. So
Okay, bet. Yeah, I'm gonna share it on YouTube, and then whatever else I see from you in the future that I feel like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna share this too. And that's what it's about, man. Like I see you have a little audience. I have my little audience. If we combine audiences and worlds and with other people that are doing the same thing on a similar mission, that's literally how we can like
build an
build
audience.
a movement, man.
Exactly, and that's the point of this whole thing. It's to make an
Yup.
actual change that matters, and not to victimize children, not to victimize people. And everyone's got a voice, everyone's got an opinion. And
Yup. Real shit. Yeah, exactly. I agree, 100%.
yeah, and that's the main focus of this. Like I'm planning on getting some charity people on as well, and some people who are pro-Palestine, and I plan on getting multiple different diversity of people, if you get me, on to this podcast
Word.
to spread the message and motivate people, because a lot of people all agree with the same things, but we're in disagreement with each other if we identify with those metaphors.
Exactly. Like people don't realize we actually agree with each other more than we think. It's just people don't know that.
Yeah. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed your time on Priimecast, and did you enjoy your hospitality here?
Hell yeah, man. I appreciate the invite. But yeah, that's what's up. So yeah, I think we'll just end it right there. It's about that time. I gotta go ahead and take care of a few things. We'll definitely keep in touch for sure and whatnot.
Do you have anything you want to share with the audience that you're doing with your channel at the moment, or any upcoming music?
Yeah, my name is Moony Mercury, baby. You can find me on YouTube, or you can find my music on any streaming platform. Moony Mercury, baby. Moony, then Mercury, then baby. And yeah, and the reason why that's my name is because of my natal chart or whatever. But yeah, I'm a spiritualist, musician, and if you like this conversation that me and Prime just had, then go ahead and keep up with me. And then I'm gonna also tell my audience to do the same for Prime when I share this video. If y'all already keep up with me and you watch me, go ahead and check out this cool ass spirit right here and what he's got going on.
Yeah, and thank you for that. And yeah, like and subscribe, guys, and stay tuned for more content. And like I say in every single stream, guys, stay prime. And yeah, that's all.
Hell yeah. Peace.